lovely and talented Patricio Mendoza, everybody. Patricio Mendoza.
That was one very solid, firm handshake, and thank God, I'm so tired of fisting people. There you go. Hey there, folks, I'm your next comedian. I know what you're thinking. They booked a lot of caveman-looking motherfuckers on this show. Like, in all seriousness, you gotta blame global warming for it. We all melted from the same glacier recently, and apparently we all just have a knack for stand-up. No. But yeah, I'm from out of town, clearly, as you can see here. I come from a small town. Anyone here from a small town? Small town? Yeah, wonderful. That is the exact whelming applause that a small town deserves. I'll tell you a little bit about where I grew up. It has these wonderful rocky beaches that really know how to cut up the toes. Pristine skies of gray. And a population where 60% of it is over the age of 60. So, Chrissy, if you're ever looking for a new husband, you know exactly where to go. Like, people in big cities, they think they have it bad with bike lanes. Back home, I have to deal with walker lanes. Imagine traffic being stalled by... I'm just getting the tapiocas. And the town is delightful Des Moines, Washington. And we're in Calgary. You guys don't know this, but there's actually 2 Des Moines in the U.S. There's one in Washington, one in Iowa. You know how you can tell the difference between someone from Washington and someone from Iowa? Iowans, they drop the last S. They drop it like it's a newborn baby. They think they're above it, those landlocked fucking weirdos. They think they're so special because they have a whole sculpture park. Well, in Des Moines, we have a single sculpture. It's of a giddy fisherman catching a big old fish with big old tits. Which explains the large fishing community, why most everyone owns a motorboat in most of my sexual fantasies. It's called a reverse mermaid. Look it up. The local surf and turf shop, they're trying to figure out how to make a fish and tits special thing. The hard part is getting the tartar sauce to just squeeze right out. Because, you know, there's like that little chopped cucumber and relish in there. It just gets stuck really quick. But you know what's the worst part about coming from a small town? Town losers. You guys know the ones. They never seem to leave. They always work at a movie theater, and inexplicably every single one of them lives in their parents' basement. Problem is, if you can't find the town loser in your small town, chances are it's you. Growing up, I was never a great conversationalist, as you can probably tell by how this set is going so far. Like, clearly. I never developed proper social skills. That's why I'm doing stand-up comedy here tonight. While like most folks out there, we're out there making friends, partying, playing sports, I was never very active. I never developed quote-unquote practical muscle. All of this is just well-placed fat. Instead, I was benched reading my bug books. My personal favorite was one on praying mantises called Eat, Pray, and oh fuck, my partner's eating me alive. I'm trying to write more material that incorporates my interests. I collect comics. No, I'm not talking about kidnapping comedians and trying to keep them in near-mint condition. Which, frankly, that's a fruitless task. You've all seen the show so far. Most comedians come damaged out of the box. No, I collect comic books. And it's really hard to write material on comic books because most general audiences have lives. I don't. And everybody has a Batman joke. That's too easy. For example, I love my car. It's like my Batmobile. But due to a parking accident, it's a little two-faced right now. See? That's a groaner. No, I go for the obscure shit. I like a challenge. One of my favorite characters is Moon Knight. You guys hear about Moon Knight? Yeah, he got a Disney Plus show recently. He's like a psychedelic Egyptian-themed Batman, complete with a white hood and cape. I always wondered why they gave him a show and not a movie. Problem is, cosplayers ruin everything. If a bunch of dudes in white hoods and capes flooded movie theaters, that would be really bad for PR. Kids are gonna dress up as Moon Knight for Halloween, and a lot of people are gonna take it the wrong way. Stated as a kid that dressed up as Moon Knight for Halloween. But they shouldn't worry about the PR with Moon Knight because he's played by Oscar Isaac. He's also one of the few Jewish superheroes in comics. So you have a Jewish superhero with Egyptian theming played by a Guatemalan actor. That's like a hat on top of a hat on top of a yarmulke. But oftentimes when I have to, I'm glad you guys were following me on that, because oftentimes when I have to talk about these characters, I have to make these weird comparisons to things that everybody knows. Like the Rocketeer. He's like a 1940s Iron Man. He's broke, punches Nazis, and is a simp for Jennifer Connelly. Which really, if you've seen the movie, her, that white dress... All right, well, you all know my internet search history. But the absolute pinnacle of these comic book weirdos that I'm into is Lobo. All right, yep, that's the appropriate response for Lobo. Every project featuring Lobo gets canceled quicker than a Catholic priest. But if I could describe him for the audience today, imagine if Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead and Gene Simmons from Kiss double-teamed a honey badger, and then that honey badger had this weird hodgepodge of a space Viking bounty hunter. Okay, that image is clearly reason enough why a project has never been greenlit. Oh, boy. With a name like Patricio, you gotta imagine there's something going on genetically. I'm half Chilean, the other half is every pale of white across Europe. I have no idea which side of the family the hair comes from, but looking at both, I know I'm gonna lose it in about 5 years. And my dad would tell me I should be proud about my Chilean heritage. Not a lot of people know about Chile. But here's the thing, you're Chilean? Oh, la puta weona! I have to explain to the white crowd here. Weon is a very particular slang word that is only used by Chilenos. Like, you can make a whole sentence out of weon. Me weona, weona, weona. See? I didn't actually say anything. I'm the bargain bin Latino because I barely know any Spanish. But like, growing up half Latino, I loved that old ABC show Zorro. You guys remember Zorro growing up? Yeah, wonderful. I wanted to be Zorro when I grew up. Unfortunately, I found out a little bit too late that carving your initials into people puts you on some sort of list. Thank you so much. You've been an electrifying crowd. I no longer need shock therapy. Give it up for Joe.